Welcome to Stop the Madness. What's up, everybody? We are back with another great episode. Welcome to Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot, my co-host, I.C.E. Cotto. We are in the building once again, and we have a very, very, very interesting and very good show for y'all. What are we talking about?
We got a video I think you and I are going to agree a lot on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
It's related to the immigration issue that New York City is facing.
Okay.
And we're going to check out this video.
Okay.
It's a hot topic. It's going on a lot in politics. I think the presidency is going to be a big part of the presidency is going to be decided on.
Am I going to say deport everyone? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Let's check out this video. Let's see what they say.
Stephen and Tasha, we've been hearing for a while now about a group of migrants connected to a string of robberies, and today the NYPD is taking action. But ICE officials tell us that when it comes to migrants committing crime, what they can do is limited because of the city's sanctuary status.
We're no longer contacted. We're no longer called.
The federal government's ability to deport migrants accused of a crime is limited, according to Kenneth Janello, who oversees operations of immigration and customs enforcement in New York City. Janello says that since 2014, when the city council passed its sanctuary city laws, ICE's partnership with the city went out the window. Now, instead of getting notified when a migrant is being accused of a crime, he says they find out through the media.
Instead of being able to take custody of these individuals in the confines of a jail or in the confines of a precinct, we now have to go out into the community and the streets where unfortunately the criminals have the upper hand.
This call for cooperation follows an attack against police officers carried out by more than a dozen migrants. 6 people have been arrested so far.
Bro, what the hell did I just listen to?
This is a very there's a long. Let me give some background. So you have ICE, right, who's in charge of immigration, say removal.
Yeah.
And then you have your local police departments. Georgia was infamous, or certain counties in particular, say we live in a county here in Georgia. There are federal agreements between federal level and local level agencies. It was called 287G. So the sheriff of a particular county would say, I'm going to sign this agreement with ICE saying, if I arrest someone in my county, we will have officers that are given a special training or whatever it is that are, they do immigration interviews. So someone gets arrested for a no license. They're speeding, get stopped. Hey, Mr. Gonzalez, stop you speeding. Do you have a license? You don't have a license. For having no license, you get arrested. The person would go to jail, and a sheriff, who's not a federal officer, would interview Mr. Gonzalez and finds out he entered the country illegally. He's been here 20 years. Mm-hmm. They notify ICE, immigration. Immigration ICE would have 48 hours to come and pick up this person and take him from the jail now to immigration jail custody, right? So what that person was talking about, Sanctuary City, now here in Georgia, a lot of counties, they do not have that agreement. So people get arrested and there's no notification to ICE immigration. So there's no longer this agreement where they work together.
They're no longer working together. Mm-hmm.
So in New York City, he's talking about like, man, people get arrested for crimes or whatever. We're not notified. We find out in the news. And that's why we got to go in the streets and all this kind of stuff. On the surface, it sounds like, man, what the hell's going on? But there's a lot of detail in that. For example, someone's driving a pickup truck. I'm a police officer. I racially profile this pickup truck because 9 out of 10 times I'm here in the South and I see a pickup truck with some ladders or whatever. That's going to be some kind of Mexican that's here illegally. Let me pull them over. Okay. I've had clients, the reason for the stop is because they had an air freshener that supposed to be too large. And that was the reason for the stop. They get stopped, And they know this person most likely does not have a license. The person gets pulled over. It's dad, mom, and the 2 kids in the car. They've been here 20-something years. They haven't committed one crime in the 20 years they lived in the country. I arrest Mr. Rivera. And guess what? In 48 hours, the guy that has been taking care of his family, that's never committed a crime, that works for a U.S. citizen that owns a business, now is in immigration custody, where they got to come up, because immigration does have bonds and you can pay for bond. They got to come up with $10,000, $20,000 a bond so that guy can get out. But guess what? They don't have the money. And guess what? Now you have an entire family that is suffering, and his big crime was
An air freshener.
He drove without a license. Fucking criminal.
So he pretty much
Right?
profiled them. Yeah.
So that is that scenario. That's one side of the coin. But here's another side of the coin. Someone gets arrested for a DUI. This used to be the case. A DUI, domestic violence, whatever the case. Immigration gets notified, they get picked up. Now you SOL. You should have not been driving drunk. My heart doesn't bleed for that person. It's like, hey, you want to drive drunk? This is what you get.
Right.
But what would happen? I've done immigration 10 years, but there was a point in my life where I drove a beat up ass Nissan Maxima that had no cloth, and I lived in Cobb County at the time. And I'm driving and I'm dropping off my daughter at the school. Literally, I mean, I'm behind a few cars. I leave and I'm not dressed. I'm not in a suit or anything. I look like I just got up through sweatpants, whatever. And I drive and the cop literally follows me. He stops me, makes some kind of bullshit reason. He stops me, right? But he realizes, hey, this guy speaks English. This Latin-looking guy is a citizen. He gives me a warning. But I had zero doubt that the reason why this officer stopped me was I look Latino. I drove a piece of shit car.
You look like a white guy. What you talking about?
Well, at that time, I was going to the tanning bed and I was very tan. and I knew he racially profiled me, right? But nothing happened to me. And so I was like, okay, your registration is expired. Or it's like, I'm going to give you a warning. Please go ahead. But that's that's one side. The other side of the coin is this. So, you see this story about the Venezuelans attacking a police officer, and it's like, man, they got arrested and immigration's not notified. Yes, that is an extreme. That's not happening every time. Yeah. But it's not that simple, I guess is my point.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense what you're saying. I just think that it's unfortunate that, ICE and I guess the police are not really working together on that situation.
Well, that's the whole point. So if they did work together, they take everybody. They don't care. They don't care if it's for, hey, you was jaywalking and you got arguing with the cop and they arrest you. Yeah, you might. Hey, in New York City, there's a lot of Dominicans.
So what do you? Well, of course. So what do you think should happen then? Do you think that a migrant that commits crime should be deported, or what do you think?
No, absolutely. I think it's a common sense approach. I think it's clear things are broken, but it's a common sense approach. Like, if for some reason, whoever's the administration, you're allowed in the country and you commit a crime. Hey.
So what kind of crime though? Misdemeanor or felony?
Yeah, I think if you're jaywalking, you get arrested.
So it has to be a felony.
Come on.
It has to be a felony though?
No, because a DUI is not a felony, right?
So that's what I'm asking you. Does it have to be a felony crime or it can be a misdemeanor?
To me, your day-to-day crime, if it's a low-class misdemeanor, you're jaywalking. You have some asshole.
What if you're stealing?
That's different.
What if it's only like $200?
Theft?
That's a misdemeanor.
A theft, DUI, or any act of violence, right? You've asked for trouble.
So what if you DUI, crash into somebody else, and the other person dies?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Is that still a misdemeanor?
No. That's a different charge.
Oh, is that a felony? Even if it was an accident?
Yeah, it becomes a felony, like vehicle mal.
What if you weren't DUIing? You're an immigrant. You're a migrant from another country. So let's say you're here illegally. You get in a car accident. You're not drunk. You're not under any influence of anything.
Mm-hmm.
You crash. You kill somebody in the other car.
Again,
it's an accident.
Yeah, that's still a felony.
Even though it was a mistake.
Yes.
So
you can have if you.
So at that point, he just had bad luck.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, there's people who get pulled over for whatever. They haven't done anything wrong. But if you get pulled over and it's a DUI. If you get in a fight with your spouse and you don't run out the front door,
yeah,
even though she started the fight and she smacked you up,
yeah.
but you go ahead and put your hands on her, guess what? You're in trouble.
What if she shoots you and then you shoot back?
No, that doesn't happen, right? But it's one of those things. It's very simple. Theft, immigration related, is a major problem. If you have any theft convictions, if you have DUIs, major hurdle. If you have multiple no licenses, major hurdle, right? But if it's a basic, like, I drove one time, I was dropping my kids off at school.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to destroy an entire, like, that's the challenge. But in this case, you have a lot of Venezuelans that just showed up and committing crimes of violence. To me, that's a no-brainer. But the agreement that guy was talking about is there's no 287G agreement signed in place. I think it's you don't even need that agreement. It's common sense at that point.
Yeah, you just schooled everybody. Got to give you a horn for that. That was good info.
That's right. Look, it's very
me.
challenging.
Yeah.
I think we may not agree on a lot of things, but I think we agree in the border's out of control.
Oh, no question.
There has to be some kind of reform. Something has to be done. But I do think this is where we disagree. There are scenarios where people have been here undocumented, illegally, and have caused zero problems.
That's true.
Has provided a net benefit to the country.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's probably the majority. I don't know the stats on that, but I think that would probably be the majority.
The recent revival, what's going on? You know what's crazy? My wife is Venezuelan.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law, who's in Venezuela, right? And she comes and visits the family on a tourist visa, and she, enjoys it and goes home. She has no desire to move to the U.S. And she sees. We went to New York City, and what is amazing, she absolutely hates all the Venezuelans that are coming to the country.
Really?
Oh my God! She's like, send all their asses back.
Wow.
What a lot of people do not see on Venezuelan social media. Everybody knows. There's some kind of They make videos as they crossing the border. Hey, we're on our way. We're gonna be living good. Da, da, da. And they make a mockery.
Yeah.
And that to me bothers me because I have had clients in the past that they're really going through something serious and there's no other option and they're trying to do something. It's understandable. Yeah. But if you're here on going Instagram live and like, yeah, we're gonna be there soon. That's a problem.
Man, that border.
That's some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Exactly.
All right, man, we're gonna wrap this one up, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I get caught up.
Oh no, I was letting you go. I was letting you go.
I just do it.
This is your topic right here, baby.
Let me tell you, I have little by little changed my stance.
This is your topic right here. I'll let you go.
It is out of control. I am sympathetic to some of the scenarios, but a lot of the scenarios we're seeing, it just makes no sense.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to wrap this episode out. I'm your host, The Kid Plot, my co-host, Isaac Cotto. We are out. Peace.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Click right here. If you want to watch more videos similar to this, click here.